So lately we've been struggling on the CT side. Just want to bring out a video just to sort of highlight my philosophy on the game and sort of share my vision, and hopefully be able to get you guys into it as well. So I've got 7 concepts here that I just want to take a look at, sort of break down their definition, and obviously give you some examples in game as well. So I've just done this little, I don't know, graph if you like on Paint. Fortunately, I'm not very technically skilled, so it's not great, but I'll try and tell you how it works here. So we've got a little timeline of a round breakdown, so we've got the freeze time here, and the round start here, and then obviously the round end is over here, so the round duration is going this way, so as time goes on, that's going towards the end of the round. So we've got the early round, mid round, and late round. Now the concepts that I've got up here kind of come in at these later stages, so the early round, we've got the initial setup, so everyone knows the playbook. The initial setup, they all know their grenades and things that they need to throw and what they're kind of looking for. So, you know, early round, you're kind of expecting or wanting to prevent a T-side rush or an early execute onto the respective bomb site that you're playing on. CT protocols, you've got the grenades that you throw, your counter utility, rotations, the positions that you'll be rotating into, or the areas that you are meant to be looking towards. Now I've highlighted this area with the ring. Most of the rounds or the games that we play on CT side, we tend to struggle mid-round, so that's kind of like the area that I want to focus on. Playbook stuff, you know, we've kind of all got together now, or got grips with the setup and how we're meant to be playing that. And obviously we've been playing it for a fair while now, so we're getting used to it and what we're meant to be seeing and preventing, that kind of thing. So if we're taking a look at the mid rounds, now things that we need to start doing is the mid or late round aggression. Obviously that's how I'm going to explain these concepts later on. We've got containing and flanking, the numbers game, so we've got the man advantage or disadvantage, and then obviously you've got CT retakes, which is like the late round. So that's like T-side post plants, or whether it comes down to like elimination, that kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, we'll have a look at some of these concepts in just a second. Okay, so the first concept we'll run over is CT protocols. Most of you know or will understand what this means, however, I just want to go into a little bit more detail just so that we understand. So the first things first is understanding the setup that you're in. So at the beginning of the round, the setup will be called, and you have to know what that setup is designed for, specifically whether it's to shut down and execute, or whether it's to play the retake on a bomb site. Now there's two key differences there on how your protocols define that. Obviously if you want to know a bit more we can go over that, but I'm just trying to explain the concept. Now, protocols also comes into terms like, obviously, how do you react to situations? So, obviously, now that we've played the playbooks quite a lot now, you've become familiar with your spots that you play in, and you've probably already started to build up your protocols, but it's probably good, or a good idea to kind of look at those individually and try and figure out what's going on. So, first things first, you need to kind of understand the common scenarios that are going to happen. So, you know, fast pushes and flashes, executes onto your bomb site, splits, whether it's an A split, B split, mid control, that kind of thing. So you kind of need to figure out how you're going to react to those situations that you see. Now, there's different things or different ways that you want to do this. Now, firstly, you want to take a look at your routes. So obviously you want to get to your position quickly and efficiently, and you want to do that safe and effectively as well. So I'll give you an example. You know, Mozza going for that window room pick in second mid. He's obviously smoking middle to get across mid safely without being picked, and he's going across boiler. That's the most dangerous part. However, sometimes he does get mollied, so maybe we need to look at the protocols for dropping a smoke in or around boiler, maybe on that flower pot windsill thing, just to prevent him from being burnt alive. Now also there's going to be flashes coming over from second mid as well. This is another protocol just to stop someone from picking him from window, give him the best advantage that we can. Obviously when we take engagements we don't want 50-50 engagements, we want to put them in an unfair advantage for us, to give us the best possible place to succeed. So roots is a key one. Now counter utility, obviously we can look at counter utility as well. Probably this is the first thing that people will think about when they think about flashes. You know, what's the most effective flash that you can throw? How many positions is it going to blind? How can I flash my teammate in or out of a certain position? You know, how can I use my smokes? Perhaps we can try and get the enemies accustomed to a certain smoke, so I can put down a smoke like 3 or 4 different times, and then maybe on the 5th or 6th time I'll use it as a one-way or something. Positioning and angles, you know, how much of my body am I showing? Is this a really effective angle? Is it an off angle? Is it a one and done spot? Can I get multiple angles from this position? How am I playing off my teammate from this position? That's another key thing to do. How much of my body parts am I showing? That kind of thing. Information, what information am I giving or receiving? Can I get any information from the other team? Maybe it's like grenade trajectories that I can bait out from the other team. So I'll show you a couple of examples on Cache. Rotations, what position am I rotating in? What positions are my teammates rotating in? I want my protocols for that. Obviously we don't want to oversaturate rotation zones, we'll come on to that in a second. Obviously playing off your teammates, we just briefly mentioned that before. And then obviously you've got different protocols as well when there's other scenarios involved. So for instance, if you've got low HP, perhaps you want to play like a headshot angle where you're only showing your head, and it doesn't matter what health you are, because obviously one shot to the head you're dead. If you've got a worse weapon, maybe you can put yourself into a different position, like a one and done spot. You want to try something a bit more gimmicky. And then, you know, obviously different things, and we'll come on to the numbers game afterwards, when you've got like a player advantage or a disadvantage. So just to run over that concept, that's CT protocols. Okay, so just to expand on that and give you a couple of examples, it's really common for the T side to throw their smoke and molly underneath vent. Now what I mean by protocols is how do we disrupt this. So, you know, it may be that Alex throws a molly behind here, and then after that maybe I throw a molly behind here. This smoke's disappeared, now we've already got that crossfire here. So what they're doing is they're using this smoke and molly to clear out here and try and get across towards checkers. What we want to try and do is disrupt that. So using mollies can usually help that. Now the other thing that we can do is obviously put a smoke down here. Now what I mean by using smokes and trying to get accustomed to it is that we can do this maybe 2 or 3 rounds, and then on the 4th or 5th round we can place a smoke down here, maybe just one down to the slightly left, and we can try and one-way it. So when the smoke clears, obviously I'll be able to just play above the smoke, maybe get a flash in from Alex, just have a look over the top, and just use it as a one-way. Now it did happen in the game that we played before against Equinox. I think Mines did warn Alex about this, but Mines does use the smoke here, and they also use one on the site here as well. So this is what I mean by protocols and counter utility. Now you can do a similar sort of thing on A, so you, again, making sure that they get accustomed to seeing the A main smoke, but it may be that, you know, you do it for like the first 3 or 4 times, and sometimes Till does decide to pick up the AWP. So it may be that obviously we could do like a slightly bad smoke, so it just looks like a bad A main smoke, but actually there's going to be a little gap on the right hand side that obviously when that smoke clears we'll be able to look at anything in that right hand corner, and he may decide to AWP from back here, just giving us an opening frag. Okay, so the next couple of concepts we'll look at is CT rotations and containing and flanking. I'll put these two together just to make it a bit quicker to go along, and also I think most people understand CT rotations, why we do it, etc. So obviously I just want to summarize that very quickly. A lot of these concepts do overlap. Obviously identifying rotation zones, that's quite important when it comes to CT retakes and that kind of thing. So if we go back to the graph here, obviously a lot of these overlap with retakes and rotations, and obviously each one of these concepts here will ultimately affect the setup, which we'll come on to in just a second. So yeah, rotations, obviously you don't want to oversaturate the zones, so obviously you don't want 2 people standing on top of each other. You've got to know where the rotation zones are. Anchors obviously don't rotate unless the bomb has been spotted. Rotators are like the moving pieces here. Obviously, when we do move, we want to move as a unit. So everyone, or the analogy I like to use is everyone's attached by a piece of string wrapped around your waist, and obviously if someone gets pulled over, you get pulled along with them. So it just fills in the gaps. Obviously, it's going to be different rotations for each setup. So we'll just have a quick look at this one. So this is like an alpha type setup. Now obviously you've got different protocols here at mid, but hypothetically let's say they're taking mid control. This guy has to fall back, means that this guy then comes pick up inside arch. He's like the stopper now on inside arch. This guy then falls back into sight, and this guy falls deeper into the B bomb site because, or you can push up towards car, just get early information, or push fall back towards site. But yeah, let's just say it's here for the time being. So there's like rotations there, very simple. Now vice versa, let's say there's more pressure on towards B now, he comes back towards coffins. The AWP now comes towards CT Speedway, he's just spotting. The guy from quad has now got to fill up moto, and Till's just containing in pit. Now what happened before, I think Till came across here, like did an over rotation, and we gave them like pit control, which if you give anyone this area here, they've basically got control of the A site, and it's not going to end well for us. And I don't think we managed to really take... I'll try and bring up that example if I can find it, just to explain what's going on. Now if we have a quick look at containing and flanking, another option that we can do on here, so obviously just to remind yourselves what that is, you're using an aggressive angle just to watch or gain information of any of the rotation zones onto a bomb site. So good angle on here is this back alley, so if we just take that and put him down here, so let's put Till down there, just means that we can use let's grab that little man, use him to spot down this line here, just to see anyone that's coming down this direction. Obviously he's got the eyes on this choke point, and this choke point, so they can't slip past him. Just means that we can cheat Ollie over towards the B bomb site, and obviously if Till does spot anyone, he doesn't have to shoot anyone. They can obviously rotate back towards A before they know anything about it. So that's to do with containing and flanking. So obviously the benefits here, just to summarise, contains the T's on one side of the map, so obviously if we look back at Inferno, if Till's in this position, just keeps them towards banana. Also, just go back a bit more. Also you can rotate an extra player across, so as mentioned before, as Till's up here, we can get that extra player over towards the B bomb site. Early information means that the CTs can rotate and set up quickly into a position, and obviously Till's got a quick flank on the big flank to the opposite bomb site, so we can go straight down banana here, so it's a lot quicker than coming from pit. So yeah, just to give you a general idea of what those two concepts mean. So another concept that sort of builds on top of that once we've rotated into a certain area is that we want to get mid or late round aggression, just to get more of an idea of how we should be set up during that round as time goes on. Now the reasons why we want to do that is to obviously get information. That's a key one there that I've just mentioned, but obviously we can also do it for other reasons. Reasons being that we want to gain additional map control. Some setups that we have do this and are designed for this at the beginning of the round, but doing it mid or late round just gives us a better idea, and obviously we can contain and flank a bomb site, and obviously this sort of continues over with that concept. Now another thing that we need to do is obviously have a look at doing this to either get a pick or balance the numbers. Now as a CT or on the CT side, it's much more difficult to sort of handle 5v4 situations because obviously your forces are going to be split up, so trading is much better for the T side than it is the CT side. And then lastly, the other or last reason for doing, say, mid-round aggression is when they take control of a certain area. So a good example of this is when they take mid control on cash. then we want to maybe take A main or B main control, because obviously when they take mid control, they still want to have control of the rest of the map, but their forces are going to be slightly weaker on those sides of the map, and they're going to use their main force on the middle area. So splitting onto bomb sites, or a split onto a bomb site when you see this happening, just prevents you from being pinched, and obviously you can control that rotation zone ready for a retake, which again we'll come on to another concept later on in this video. Okay, so as I've mentioned throughout this video about the concept of the numbers game, what I mean by the numbers game is whether we have the man advantage or the man disadvantage, so the numbers being played out. Now if we look at the recent Equinox game that we've just played, we went 12-0 down. Now the majority of the time we got that opening pick, and usually it was within 50 seconds of the round, so it's really where this ring is here that we're losing out. And you know, there was so many situations where we went down or we lost the round. I think there was like 1 5v2, 2v1s, 4v2s that we lost. So the scoreline was really flattering for the Equinox side on cash. But obviously these are problems that we're having, and it's all because of this mid to late round aggression, containing and flanking we're just not doing, and then the numbers game is a key one where we're not set up correctly. Like I said, all of these link back once these happen. You know, for instance, we look at the mid-round or late-round aggression, the setup alters, containing and flanking, the setup alters, and the numbers game, you know, 5v2, again the setup changes, again alters. So it all sort of links back to changing this. We always keep the CT side dynamic. Now going to what I mean by the numbers game, so when we have the man advantage, obviously 2v1s, we want to play contact. I've got an example of that where, you know, I think Till mentions every time that we don't need to do contact again because obviously we all know it, when in fact no we don't, because yeah, I'll show you an example of that in a bit. 3v1 playing passive, obviously we just want to jump spot for info, that's the safest way. Obviously we can go over these concepts individually, but yeah, I'm not going to go through it all now because it's going to take time. Could probably spend 50 minutes on this just alone. And then obviously calling the rotate over. When we don't have the man advantage and we've got a disadvantage, then that's when we want to do the mid-round aggression, trying to balance out the numbers, just going back to that concept again. And then 3v5s, we probably just want to gamble stack a site. So, you know, whether we stack A or stack B, it's a 50-50, but we put all the rifles in one place, trying to give us the best chance of defending that bomb site if they do come there. If they don't come there, then we just save our weapons. And saving our weapons, again, is another issue. You know, we've got people running off on their own and he loses his weapons, and you know, we're trying to save all 3 rifles, and the best way to save is all together. If we all just run off individually, you know, we lose 2 rifles, and then the third one's like, well, what's the point in saving in the first place if no one else has got an economy? So yeah, it's just something we need to look at. Now, like I said, we can do this numbers game kind of thing. I've got loads of notes coming out of my ears, like all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to go through it all now, but there's your 3v1 stuff, 2v1 going, you know, contact, doing that stuff. So like I said, maybe at some point we need to run over that. Okay, so as I said, like, there's examples across the board of where we should be playing contact. This is just the one that sticks out in my mind. I know it's on T side, not CT side. We know he's in tunnels. We got Till peeking, and contact should be on Ollie here. You know, simple enough. You know, obviously we win the round, but we've given in 2 separate 1v1s. Obviously, just looking at this, we got Till peeking out. Ollie's playing off by the car. Let's just speed this up a bit. Till dies. Ollie's in a position where he can't trade because Till's peeking. And what should have been happening was Ollie should have been holding this angle like this, and Till should have peeked as soon as contact's made on Ollie there. So, and there's time and time again that examples like this are done. I mean, obviously Ollie hits his shot here. But I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, and the last concept we got here is CT retakes. We're still getting it wrong. I mean, a couple of retakes we got down quite well. It's obviously the overpass B retake, and we've got the Dust 2 B retake as well. Obviously that needs a little bit of work, so I think we've gotten that one. I've spoken about this time and time again, but I think we're still a little bit unconfused, or confused about it, sorry. So obviously I've got D cup here, which is like the anagram that I like to use just to remember it by. D is for the anchors only, that's just Till and Alex, and that's delay. Obviously you want to delay the execute coming into the bomb site. This just prevents the T's from getting comfortable into comfortable afterplant positions, and obviously getting extra control of the rotation zone, so it makes it a little bit easier later on in the round for the next step, which is C. So C is for the rest of the team as well. This is where you want to control the rotation zones. Obviously you need to fall off and retake those rotation zones with your teammates. That's absolutely fine, and obviously you want to clear any flank or lurk that might be coming on from behind the rotation zone as well. U is for use, that's for using your utility for common afterplant positions. We're still failing on that sometimes. I'm thinking B-Site Inferno, need to take a look at that because there's Molotovs and everything flying everywhere, which are really ineffective, so we need to take a look at those. Got a couple of examples that I could probably show you. P is for press, obviously like I said before, overpass B site, go in as in like a wave together, push the bomb site together in one line. As you can see, it was quite effective in the examples that we did have, but obviously we don't do that or transfer that across to other bomb sites, so we need to start looking at that. Now, one common thing that we do have, or problem that we do have, sorry, is Mirage 131. Now with Mirage 131, this setup is designed around the A retake, so if we go back to the D cup anagram, Alex obviously uses his utility early. Sometimes he gets caught out though, so do remember to fall back. The next person that's going to help you in from CT spawn is going to be the AWP. So the AWP's going to be around here, just making sure, see if you can get anything crossing. If he gets smoked out, he's just going to come back round with you. Once the bomb's been spotted, obviously Till's going to come round this way as well. Now Ollie's job, Ollie wants to make sure that there's no lurkers, so either top mid, or chair, or underpass. And then he's going to help get control of this rotation zone with me. So essentially what we want is 2 players from jungle, 3 from CT. So this is controlling the rotation zone. Obviously Till on his way back rotating through, he can throw a flashbang just in this area to help retake the rotation zone. So going back to this is just C for control. This is breaking up the numbers, so 3 from CT, 2 from jungle. Obviously Ollie's checking the lurk. This is also part of controlling the rotation zone. Now once Till's up here, we then go to U, which is used. So we use our utility, so we want to use our smokes at ramp, we want to use our smoke at palace, we want to Molotov, sandwich, Tetris, underbout, firebox, wherever you want to do, just to limit these areas and push them out into the open from behind cover. Then obviously it's P for press, so we want to press together. So the reason we send free CT is that all the gunfights are going to be happening right in front of us in straight lines, and these guys just have to hold palace, and anything from behind default, etc. Don't really want to swing out too late, and we just clear it like that. But for some reason we just have difficulty. So going back to this concept again, I don't know if we have to dry run it several times, but it's very important that we try and understand this is how we want to do retakes in the future. If we need to go over this concept again, obviously let me know and we can run over it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just have a quick look at a few examples here, see what's happening in the round, just using the concepts that I have here created. So we're going to our alpha setup, so that's the initial start of the round. We have some good CT protocols here, and we shut down this execute towards B. So we've got the smoke that goes down with Alex's counter flash here. We've got the CT rotation coming in from Mozza. Ollie's rotation was a little slow, so Till feels like he has to rotate towards Moto. So it should be Ollie towards Moto. Till shouldn't leave pit. And we'll have a look at why he shouldn't leave pit in just a second. So the execute's been shut down. We have a third player rotated over here. Now the execute's been broken up and we're in a 5v3 situation here. So we have the numbers advantage. So now we need to change our setup because we have the man advantage. We play more passive. Till shouldn't be up at brackets. The reason why he shouldn't be up at brackets is because we'll see it in just a second. He goes... Okay, well he doesn't get anyone. He just dies. So he shouldn't be up there. He should be playing more passive. Make them commit towards the A bomb site. He shouldn't be there in the first place. He should be in pit. Now the reason we don't give up pit is now that Ollie is isolated on the A bomb site. They have pit control. As we said earlier, pit control is like the key to the A bomb site. 5v3, remember this was. Now it is a bomb plant and a 2v1. That could have easily gone the other way around. I could have died there and it could have been a 1v1. So, concepts we can take from that, obviously, good CT protocols, rotation from Mozza was good, rotation from Ollie was non-existent, Till over-rotated and shouldn't ever leave pit. Obviously the execute gets shut down, they rotate back towards the bomb site, we've got no one in pit, we're in a 5v3, the setup is bad, this is all mid-round, and it comes close, it comes down to a 2v1 on the A bomb site with a bomb plant that should never have happened. Okay, in this round we do something good and then do something awful, so we'll just have a look, tell you what I mean. So this round, obviously we're going back into alpha again, we've been practicing this one during this demo. Let's just speed this up because the T's actually start to take brackets control, which is really common. Mozza falls back off that smoke, which is good. Ollie's protocol should be to fall back as well because now he's isolated. I think he does have a crossfire with Till, but not liking it, but we need to look at the CT protocols anyways. He decides to fall back now, so he falls back. They've got brackets control, I've rotated over, fine, that's good. So rotation comes over, now they've decided to fall back from brackets, but we do something good here, so we do the mid to late round CT aggression. So we do a flash here from Mozza towards Arch for me, and Till flashes for Ollie, I believe, and we flash brackets and double peek it together from both Arch and Quad. Once we realise that this is clear, let's just speed this up. Once we realise this is clear, I rotate off, Mozza rotates off, Ollie should now be flying off towards Moto, Till should be staying in pit. And the reason we fly off is because of this lurker here. Ollie staying up here gives him an opening onto this bomb site. Which, again, they could always double back. So he's doing what Till did in the last example that we had, and again Till's leaving pit. Because of this, because you haven't got in position quick enough, Mozza now falls back towards inside Arch, and as we can see the execute is coming onto the B bomb site. We'd like to have Mozza over there, have more players over there, but Mozza has to clean up that. Till's now in Moto, we've got no one in pit. This could easily have been like an compartments explode and we'd have no control of pit and they'd probably just walked all over us. But yeah, do manage to deal with it in the end. But this could have gone so wrong, wasn't clean at all, lots of things to take from that. Okay, so this round we've got an example of CT protocols and changing the setup when we go man disadvantage. Now this time on 4v5, it's very common that sometimes the Arch player dies. I'm not saying Mozza dies all the time, but it's common that we're out of position. So here we do CT mid-round aggression. We get information that there's nothing banana, but then they decide to come back and they get recontrol of it, so we know they're coming up banana. Now we know that the Arch player dies, so we know that it could possibly be a split B. Now in this instance, what we should do is have a double up pit and a double up ruins setup here. So Ollie and Till should get in pit, one watching short, one watching Arch, just for the A wrap. And Alex and I double up in ruins, and I'll just show you on the minimap why we want to do this. So if we have a quick look at this, let's just change this to Inferno, and let's clear everything, put some men in. So we had Ollie over here. Oh, can we change the colour? So we had Ollie over here, Till here, Alex and I, and Mozza was here. Mozza died, and so they went this way, and they were going this way, right? So what happened was that Mozza died, and we knew they were pushing Banana. We knew they were taking us out at Arch. We didn't know how many were Arch because we didn't have the information. But anyway, so we called for me to come into ruins, and Alex was up here. What should have happened? I think Ollie went this way. The fact that they could already be in CT, that, you know, timing wise, you couldn't have got there and back in position earlier. So what you should have done was fell back towards pit. Till should have been holding towards Arch, and you should have had a crossfire with one watching this way and one watching this way. Now, after you've got into these positions, you might be asking, like, what now? Like, why do we do this? So, B bomb site, let's say if they plant B, then obviously if they planted B, we're holding the two most valuable after plant positions. We've got ruins control, and obviously these guys up here can then rotate around this way and take Banana together without having to go through CT and clear anything, because they could be anywhere in this sort of area, just like with a lurker just sat somewhere stupid. So the reason we do this is that if we hold this area and this area, then it limits them to playing towards the B bomb site or in CT. That's when we get our counter utility in. Once we've done this, so we get these players up. Let's just put these over here, and then we can use our grenades into the bomb site effectively. Again, we need to have a look at those on Inferno because I saw some really shitty stuff. But anyway, so we smoke off or molly off these choke points, good flashes in, and obviously we can drop a smoke here, have a couple coming in from either side. Just makes the retake much more effective. Okay, so utility on the retake has been a bit off. I've seen all sorts of weird things with mollies landing like in the middle here and by the fountain. It's just all a bit of a mess, really. So yeah, we just need to have a look at some of the things that you can do. Obviously, if this is smoked off, then you can molly the back of quad just top of this and just run forward, and it will hit back of this and burn out all behind it. That's one easy way of doing it. You can have someone back here, just where this window is, top of this roof, smoke it. You can do a flash at the same height here. Obviously, if you throw it up here for your teammate, someone who's back here isn't looking here, you know, it's really uncommon for that. Just for you flash your teammate in, and then obviously you can do your molly afterwards if you really wanted to do that. Alternatively, you can come into ruins. There's like a molly or something you can do here. Should go towards dark, just at the back. That's just a jump throw in front of these sandbags. Flashes over. Can't actually remember it. I think there's like one off the skybox that you can do that will bounce down here, like so that it will pop. But yeah, something we need to look at is just like CT utility on the retake, especially for this map. I've seen some really weird stuff that does not work well, so yeah, just something to note.